Did you know that a banana tree is more closely related to a corn plant than it is a real tree, and that it is in fact not a tree at all? Hi, I'm Tristan Barringer, horticulture major and plant care enthusiast, and I'd like to tell you about another tricky topic in agriculture, and that is our most important crops and their origins. I plan to teach you a few talking points about our top crops and where they came from, and more importantly, some of the common uses today. The most important crop on the planet in terms of production is corn. Not a big surprise there, obviously, but it originates from Central and South America. It was hybridized over 7,000 years ago by Native Americans from a grass called teosinte, and that information came from Iowa State database. It was discovered later by Spanish and brought to Europe, where it then became more popular. And now today, over 822 million tons of it are produced each year, with most of that going to ethanol and livestock production. In fact, according to the Corn Refiners Association, in 2010, an estimated 3.8 million tons of our corn harvest went to ethanol in the United States alone. Corn is also being used extensively in food production. It's used as a grain in food. It's also used as a sweetener and a preservative. It's also used in a lot of other unlikely products, such as yogurt, batteries, shampoo, and even vanilla extract. Those are just a few. All of this combines to make corn the most useful grain in production today. Wheat is the second most cultivated crop. We cultivate about 690 million tons of it each year. It's native to the Mediterranean region and Southwest Asia, and it's been essential to civilization in the Fertile Crescent for thousands of years. It's still a huge part of the world's diet today. It's used in making alcoholic beverages such as beer. It's essential for the process of bread making. We certainly would not be eating bread today without wheat. And it's also used extensively as a food additive. Wheat is grown in a wide variety of climates. It's a really hardy plant. It can tolerate very short summers and cold winters. So much so that, according to an Encyclopedia Britannica article quoting data from a Food and Agriculture Association of the United Nations, an estimated 4% of our planet's viable cropland is covered in wheat fields. On to our third most cultivated crop, which is rice. It accounts for more than 25% of the calories consumed by humans on Earth, and over 680 tons of it are produced each year. The vast majority of rice, unlike corn and wheat, is produced for human consumption, meaning we eat most of it. It's native to India, Thailand, and southern China, and it's grown over the entire course of the plant's life in 2 to 4 inches of water, which presents some geographical limitations as to where it can be grown, which is part of the reason why it's still grown in Asia. It's produced mainly in the same region it is native to still today. On to our last crop we'll be discussing, potatoes. They're native to South America. Similar to corn, they were discovered in Peru by the Spanish during the mid-19th century. And according to an article found on foodreference.com about the history and origin of potatoes, and I quote, "In Europe, potatoes were thought to be poisonous or evil and were believed to cause leprosy and syphilis." Obviously this was disproven, and potatoes eventually became more popular. Now we produce over 314 million tons of them every year, making them the most important non-grain food crop in production. In conclusion, regardless of the culture, the world's most important crops are cereal grains. Corn is not only a large part of food engineering, but is also increasingly used in ethanol production, and is an important component of our livestock feeds. Wheat has been a part of the European lifestyle for thousands of years and remains to be to this day. Rice has and always will be the main source of protein for Asia, and without these grains, civilization would undoubtedly be impossible. Thank you for listening. I'm Tristan Barringer.
Now look at us.